So it's Easter weekend here and it's pretty sunny today, and I thought I've had almost a week on the wrist with the new Rolex Sea-Dweller, so I thought I'd do a bit of a kind of thoughts after a while of wearing it. And I mean, overall I have to say I think it's probably the perfect watch. And I've just got a few other kind of watches from each brand just to go through and give some differences and say why I think that is. So I mean, starting with the last week, it's been an amazing watch. It's so comfortable, it feels so nice on the wrist. It's not too big, not too small. I think it's really the perfect size. I mean, if I look at one of my past videos, I compared it to the Tudor, then this is 42 and this is a 43, but yet they kind of really feel the same. In fact, the Tudor actually feels thicker and bigger. It reminds me of the side of the deep sea. So yeah, in terms of the functionality, the price, the size, comfort, I think it's probably the perfect watch. Definitely in my collection at the moment, it's the perfect watch. I prefer it over the Submariner. It feels more substantial, and yeah, it's just perfect. So looking at a couple of other watches, so comparing it to an Omega in my collection, there's not a massive size difference. There is when you look at the size side on, it's obviously clearly thicker. This is the Hesalite version. So if I was looking at, although I love this watch, I'm tend to be a bit paranoid about the possibility of scratching either the bezel or the glass. So with this one, you've got no concerns. I have actually knocked it a couple of times already on a door frame, and nothing happened. There was no scratches, no marks coming up on the bezel. So this is definitely got a ruggedness over this one. In terms of this being an investment piece, I think that the Omegas go down in price pretty rapidly unless you've got something like a Snoopy or a limited edition of some form, like a 30th, 40th, 50th anniversary of an Apollo landing or something. The resale of this doesn't hold up that well. Compared to that, this wins on resale as well. As soon as you walk out of the AG wearing this, you've made a profit, and it's just nice to know that you could almost justify as you're not losing money. Certainly, you're just kind of putting that money on your wrist. So yeah, that's the reason why I think it's better than my Omega. The Tudor's much more closer in terms of this particular model. The GMT does hold value very well, so that's kind of clearly this is going to make more money, but this is at least holding its value. In terms of manufacturing, I feel that the Tudor is amazing. I'm surprised. I mean, these ones, I think this took about 6 months to get. I'm surprised Tudor hasn't become more popular. I know that they are becoming a little kind of like Rolex in terms of, well, as I said, this took 6 months to get. If you look at the the blue model, then that takes the Black Bay Blue 39mm one. That is a long waiting list for that. The chronograph models, that's hard to get as well. So yeah, it's been interesting to see what the production numbers of Tudor are compared to Rolex, because Tudor does seem to be going that kind of way. I mean, you can walk into Omega, Breitling, Carrera, Tag, and you can pick up basically any watch you want. With Tudor, that's actually stopped being the case over the last 1 to 2 years. So it's interesting that they seem to be going the way of Rolex, because yeah, none of the dealers have a lot of models available. Kind of reminiscent of walking into a Rolex AD is like walking into Tudor boutique now. If I compare it to the the Avenger from Breitling. I mean, there's a pretty big size difference. I mean, this would be, Breitling is bigger than probably the Deep Sea, by I think a millimeter. I think it's 45. In terms of thickness, I would say that the Sea-Dweller is actually a bit thicker, but this, again, you know, the Rolex wins. You know, this was, I think it was around, it's definitely gone down in price since I purchased it. It's not massively desirable. It's a very, very solid watch. I changed the straps quite a lot on this, so I've had leather, like a canvas strap, and then also, you know, I changed this rubber one probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. This is quite flat, so in terms of wearing it on the wrist, it definitely doesn't sit as comfortably as a Sea-Dweller does. You can see it's quite big difference there as well. Take another one, Monaco. You know, I've always loved the Monaco. I've had this for quite a while. I like the classic blue face on this as well. I enjoy wearing this one. It always get a lot of compliments on this watch, actually, probably more so than basically any other ones. But again, you know, wearing the Sea-Dweller for a week, yeah, it's unfortunately overtaken my Monaco as well. It's just, you know, it's more comfortable. I feel like everything from the, you know, the strap to the clasp, the way it sits on your wrist, you know, the bezel, obviously this one doesn't have a bezel, then everything else, I just, yeah, definitely fallen in love with this one. Carrera, I'll just show that one. I mean, that's obviously a big price difference, so you can't really compare, but I mean, if you look at, just as an example here, the straps, sorry, the bracelets, then yeah, this has lasted. The Carrera has been very, very reliable, actually. It does need a bit of a clean, but just the manufacturing of these Rolex class and bracelets is just, you know, it's better than anything else I've seen or worn. Obviously it's, you know, similar to the Submariner, but this is bigger, thicker, and more substantial. So at the moment I would say that this is the perfect watch, really. I mean, the Deep Sea is very chunky. A lot of people don't like the way it sits. It's kind of a hockey puck. I haven't worn the new 2018 version, which is kind of meant to have, well, it's got a wider clasp and you know, better bracelet. So I'd be interested to go and try that on, and I might end up getting one of those. Might end up getting one of those based on the fact that I love this watch so much. I just want to kind of see what the big brother, you know, is like. But yeah, at the moment, I say this is, you know, the perfect watch in terms of it's sitting between the Deep Sea and Submariner. The Submariner tends to be a little small, Daytona's a little small, Deep Sea maybe a little big, and in terms of price, you know, holding its value, I think this will be, you know, a classic for many years to come, and very desirable. And yeah, it's pretty much bulletproof in terms of you know, what you want in a watch, from comfort, you know, functionality, you know, desirability, and holding its value. So yeah, so far it's been a good week wearing this. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.